Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Sprout TV, where learning English is easy, natural, and fun. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Emma. We are so happy you are here with us today. Grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable in your favorite chair, and let's practice some real English together.
Today, we are talking about a topic that is very important, but people don't talk about it enough in English class. We are talking about social anxiety.
Yes, social anxiety, or in simpler words, feeling very nervous or scared around other people. Have you ever felt your heart beat really fast before walking into a room full of strangers, or maybe before speaking English to a native speaker?
Oh, absolutely. I remember when I was first learning a new language, I was terrified to speak. My hands would shake and I would forget everything I studied. But today, we are going to learn how to talk about these feelings in English. We will share some personal stories and teach you the exact vocabulary you need to express your emotions clearly.
And remember, if you are feeling nervous about speaking English today, you are in a safe space. Here at English Sprout TV, making mistakes is just part of learning. So take a deep breath with us. Ready? Let's get started.
So, Emma, let's start with the basics. What exactly is social anxiety? How would you describe it to someone who is just learning English?
Well, social anxiety is a feeling of fear or nervousness in social situations. It's when you are around other people or even just thinking about being around other people and you feel very worried.
Right, and it's important to know that it's not just being a little bit shy. Being shy is normal. Social anxiety is much stronger. It can make you feel physically sick or make you want to hide from the world.
Exactly. For example, imagine you get an invitation to a big party. A relaxed person might think, oh, fun, I will go and meet new friends. But someone with social anxiety might think, oh no, what if I don't know anyone? What if I say something stupid? What if people judge me?
Yes, the fear of being judged is a huge part of it. And honestly, I think a lot of English learners experience this. We call it language anxiety or foreign language anxiety.
Oh, 100%. When you're learning English, you're already feeling vulnerable. You want to express your true, funny, smart personality, but you only have beginner vocabulary, so you feel like a child again, and that can cause a lot of social anxiety.
That is such a good point. You know exactly what you want to say in your native language, but in English, the words just don't come out. So you stay quiet, and then you feel bad because you stayed quiet. It's a vicious cycle.
A vicious cycle. That's a great advanced phrase, Alex. For our listeners, a vicious cycle means a bad situation that keeps repeating itself, making things worse and worse. And yes, social anxiety is definitely a vicious cycle. You are scared to speak, so you don't practice. Because you don't practice, you don't improve. Because you don't improve, you are still scared to speak.
Exactly, but the first step to breaking that cycle is simply learning how to talk about it. If you can name your feelings, you can control them.
I love that. Name it to tame it. Okay, let's talk about some of the physical symptoms. When people get social anxiety, what happens to their bodies?
Well, for me, my hands get really sweaty and my heart beats really fast. We call that a racing heart.
Yes, a racing heart. For me, my face gets very red and hot. We call that blushing. And sometimes my mind just goes completely blank.
My mind went blank. That's a fantastic idiom. It means you suddenly cannot remember anything or think clearly. I think we've all been there. You're in the middle of a conversation and suddenly, poof, no words.
Poof, gone. It's the worst feeling, but it is so common.
Let's share a real-life story to make this easier to understand. Emma, can you remember a time when you felt strong social anxiety?
Oh yes, a few years ago I went to a networking event for my job. You know, a networking event is where professionals go to meet other people in their industry, shake hands, and exchange business cards.
Oh, networking events are a nightmare for social anxiety. Everyone is just standing around holding tiny cups of cheap wine trying to think of something smart to say.
Exactly. It was in a huge room with maybe 200 people, and everyone seemed to know each other already. I walked in and I just froze. I stood by the snack table for 20 minutes, just eating almonds so I would look busy.
The snack table strategy, I know it well. Hiding by the food so people don't talk to you.
Yes, I felt like everyone was looking at me and thinking, why is that woman standing alone? She must be weird. But of course, no one was actually looking at me. That's the trick your brain plays on you. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect.
The spotlight effect, that's another great term to know. We always think there is a giant spotlight shining on us and everyone is noticing our mistakes or our awkwardness. But in reality, everyone is too busy worrying about their own spotlight.
So true. Eventually, I forced myself to walk up to one person. I just said, "Hi, bee almonds are really good. I'm Emma." It was awkward, but it broke the ice.
That takes a lot of courage. I have a similar story, but with language learning. When I first moved to a new country to study, I had to go to the bank to open an account.
Oh, the bank, that's so stressful even in your native language. There is so much paperwork.
It was terrible. I had practiced exactly what I was going to say. Hello, I would like to open a checking account. But when the bank teller started speaking to me very fast using all these financial terms, my mind went completely blank.
Oh no.
I started sweating, my hands were shaking, I completely forgot the word for identification or ID, so I just stood there, looking foolish. I felt so embarrassed that I just said never mind and walked out of the bank without opening my account.
Wow, I can feel your embarrassment just hearing the story. But Alex, look at you now. You are hosting an English podcast for thousands of people.
Thank you, Emma, but it took a long time to get here. I had to realize that the bank teller didn't care that I forgot a word. She just wanted to help me. Most people are actually very kind and patient if you just tell them you are nervous.
Which brings us to our next topic, practical phrases. What can our English Sprout TV listeners say when they are feeling overwhelmed in a social situation?
Yes, let's give our audience some survival phrases. Imagine you are at a party or a meeting and the anxiety is hitting you hard. You need a break. What do you say?
Well, you don't have to say, "I'm having a panic attack and I need to run away." You can just say something polite and natural. For example, "Excuse me, I'm going to step outside for some fresh air."
I'm going to step outside for some fresh air. That is perfect. It sounds natural and it gives you a valid reason to leave the room without explaining your anxiety.
Another good one is, "I'm going to grab another drink. Can I get you anything?" This allows you to walk away, but it's very polite because you're offering to help the other person.
Clever. I also like using the phrase, I need to use the restroom. No one will ever question that. It gives you 3 to 5 minutes to hide in a quiet bathroom, wash your hands, take some deep breaths, and reset your nervous system.
The restroom is the ultimate safe zone. Now, what if you are talking to someone and they ask you a question, but your mind goes blank? How do you ask for time to think without feeling stupid?
Great question. Instead of just staying silent and staring at them, you can use filler phrases or stalling phrases. You can say, "That's a really interesting question. Let me think about that for a second."
Oh, I love that. Let me think about that for a second. It makes you sound thoughtful and intelligent, not anxious.
Exactly. Or you can say, "How do I put this into words?" This shows the other person that you are actively trying to express a complex thought, which makes them patient and willing to wait for you.
Yes, and if you are an English learner, you can always just be honest. You can say, "English is not my first language, so please give me a moment to find the right word."
Honesty is the best policy. People are usually so impressed that you are even trying to speak their language, they will immediately become more supportive and smile at you.
What about after the social event? Social anxiety drains your energy. We call this a social hangover.
Oh, social hangover. I love that slang term. It means you feel exhausted and depleted after being around people, even if the event was fun. Just like drinking too much alcohol gives you a headache the next day, socializing gives you mental exhaustion.
Yes, so the coping strategy is to schedule recharge time or me time. If you know you have a big party on Saturday, make sure Sunday is completely empty. You can stay in your pajamas, watch movies, and just be alone.
Absolutely, protecting your energy is so important. And remember, being an introvert is not a bad thing. Introverts just get their energy from being alone, while extroverts get their energy from being around people.
Exactly. And a lot of people with social anxiety are introverts. It just means you need to manage your social battery carefully. Don't let anyone force you to go to 3 parties in one weekend.
Emma, before we wrap up, I want to speak directly to our listeners who might be struggling with this right now.
Please do. I think a lot of our English Spout TV family needs to hear this.
If you are learning English and you feel terrified to speak, please know that you are not alone. Every single person who learns a second language goes through a silent period. It is completely normal to just listen for a long time before you feel brave enough to speak.
That is so true. You don't have to force yourself to be the loudest person in the room. You can start small.
Yes, start with micro interactions. Say good morning to the barista at the coffee shop. Say thank you, have a good day to the cashier at the supermarket. These are tiny victories, and every tiny victory builds your confidence muscle.
I love the idea of micro interactions. It takes the pressure off. You don't need to give a big speech or tell a funny joke. You just need to smile and say hello.
And remember, people are not judging your grammar. They are listening to your message. They want to connect with you, the human being, not a perfect English textbook.
Beautifully said. Your personality, your humor, your kindness, those things shine through even if you use the wrong verb tense. Don't let the fear of a grammar mistake stop you from making a new friend.
I think we've covered a lot of great ground today, but before we say goodbye, let's do a quick vocabulary recap to make sure you remember the best phrases from today's episode. Emma, I'll say the situation and you give the phrase.
Sounds fun. Let's do it. Listeners, try to guess the phrase before I say it.
Situation 1. You are at a party and you feel overwhelmed. You need to leave the room for a few minutes to breathe. What do you say?
I would say, excuse me, I'm going to step outside for some fresh air.
Perfect. Situation 2. Someone asks you a difficult question and your mind goes blank. You need time to think.
I would say, that's a really interesting question. Let me think about that for a second.
Excellent. Situation 3. You are speaking English, but you forget a word. You want the other person to wait for you politely.
I would say, how do I put this into words? Or, English is not my first language, please give me a moment.
Great job. And finally, what do we call the exhausted feeling you get after being around people for too long?
A social hangover. And to fix it, you need some me time or recharge time.
You guys are doing so well. Make sure you write these phrases down in a notebook or on your phone. Repetition is the mother of learning.
We really hope this episode made you feel seen and understood. Learning English is a journey, and it's okay if some days are harder than others. Be kind to yourself.
Before we go, we have a little homework for you in the comment section. This is the best way to practice what you learned today and get over that fear of writing in English.
Yes, we want you to answer this question. What is one micro interaction or small social situation that makes you feel a little bit nervous? And what is one phrase you will use next time to feel better?
For example, you could write in the comments, I feel nervous when I have to make phone calls in English. Next time, I will say, could you please speak a little slower?
Write your sentences down below. Alex and I read as many comments as we can, and we love to help you correct your grammar. So don't be shy. The comment section is a safe space.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps the YouTube algorithm show English Sprout TV to more learners who might need this support.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a new Easy English conversation every single week. We upload new Easy English conversations every single week.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Remember, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and keep practicing.
You are doing amazing. Until next time, keep growing your English with English Sprout TV.
Bye, everyone.
See you soon.